All right, get ready, everyone, because we're going deep, deep into the final patch notes for Season 10.
Desecration.
Whoa, yeah, final patch notes. That
This is
means
it.
this is what we got. No more changes. These are going to dictate how the game is played from here on out.
Yeah, this is like we get to peek behind the curtain and really see all the devs' final thoughts and touches on everything before we all get to experience this.
Absolutely, and it's not just little tweaks. I mean, we're seeing changes across the board.
Oh, yeah.
General changes, settings updates.
Loot filter, bug fixes.
I mean, D2GL, launcher updates. I
Yeah.
mean, maps, dungeons, uniques.
Oh, we're going to talk about all of that.
Especially those new uniques. Everybody's waiting to hear about those. But first, I want to talk about allocated loot, because this is going to change the game, especially for those of us who like to play in groups.
Oh, it's going to change the game for everybody.
For real.
Yeah, no more loot ninjas.
No more racing, trying to get a click in.
No, certain items are going to be randomly allocated to party members. So, runes, set and unique items, uber materials, they're all going to be split up.
So wait, so if I'm in a party of 8,
Mm-hmm.
only one of us is going to get that bear rune.
Well, it's going to depend on the specific item and the party size. I mean, obviously, the bigger the party, the less likely you are to get any specific item. But the point is, everyone has a chance.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. So it's not like if a bear drops, only one person is going to get it.
No, it's just that that bear rune that drops is automatically allocated to one party member. So they don't have to, click it first, race to get it, anything like that.
So it's fair.
It's fair.
I like that.
But there is a catch. You have to be within 2 screens of a monster when it dies to be eligible for that loot.
Yeah.
So no more slacking off. You want a piece of the pie, you got to be in the fight.
Okay. All right. I can get down with that.
Yeah.
I mean, it really promotes, like you said, teamwork, participation.
Yeah.
You can't just sit back and let everybody else do all the work.
Mm-hmm.
So they also added a bunch of new commands. I love these quality of life things.
Oh, game changers.
So like there's home. So now you can set your favorite VNet channel as your go-to spot.
So convenient. No more typing in the channel name every single time you want to join.
Exactly. We also have Dawfall stats. So for those of us who, kind of want to show off our kill count, that's pretty cool.
Bragging rights.
Yeah, exactly. Or if you want a challenge, we have .noe XP as well.
Yeah, for those hardcore players, who want to make things extra difficult, I personally love the new .set home command. Like, if you spend most of your time grinding Act 3, you can now bypass those first 2 acts completely.
Oh, tell me more.
Just type in .set home and the act you want to start in, and boom, you're there. No more running through the Den of Evil or dealing with those pesky blood ravens. It's a huge time saver.
That's amazing. I can't wait to use that.
And let's not forget about those hotkey updates.
Oh, the hotkeys.
Accessing the D2GL screen, showing item quantity, taking a screenshot of a tooltip, all with a single keystroke. And those stat point key combos, oh man, I can feel the carpal tunnel relief already.
It's those little things, though, that you don't realize are so impactful until they're there.
Absolutely.
I was also super excited about, I don't know if this is small to other people, but to me it was big. They finally made it so that Anya's orbs auto-stack.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
I'm so glad we don't have to, click those each individually anymore.
It's the little things, right? I can't believe it took this long, but I'm so glad they finally did it.
Me too. And item behavior is getting a bit of a makeover, too. On kill effects, now proc from spells.
Oh, this is huge. This opens up a whole new world of build possibilities. I'm already thinking of some crazy combinations.
Oh, I know, right? The potential is insane. And they finally addressed those overpowered elemental large charms. They're capped at plus 3% now.
Yeah, about time, right. It was getting a little out of hand. But I think this is a good balance. They're still powerful, but not game-breaking.
Yeah, for sure. They also made some quality of life changes to the equipment lock feature. Now, it locks your mercenaries' gear as well.
Yeah, no more accidentally socketing your merc's helm or selling their weapon.
Oh, thank goodness. And you can't socket items while they're equipped anymore.
Smart move, smart move. It's all about streamlining that gameplay experience, making it smoother, more intuitive.
For sure. And if you're playing non-ladder, you can now buy tokens of absolution from Akara.
No more having to make a ladder character just to respect.
Exactly. Now, this is a small change,
Yeah.
but I'm really excited about it because I think it could have some interesting implications for certain builds. Poison and open wounds are now only overwritten per source, so your merc's poison won't override yours.
Ooh, that's interesting. I hadn't really thought about that. So now you could potentially have multiple sources of poison or open wounds on an enemy at the same time.
Exactly. That's going to be interesting to play around with.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's talk about those corrupted zones, because I know everybody is is waiting to hear about where they're going to be farming.
Yeah, they've streamlined the list a bit so you'll know exactly where to go to find those high-level monsters.
Okay.
And get this, the Abaddon, Pit of Acheron, and the Infernal Pit, they're all bigger.
What?
More monster density, more variety. Get ready for some intense battles and some serious loot explosions.
I'm ready.
I'm excited. They've also made some really nice changes to the loot filter settings. They're now in the main D2 settings menu, so they're super easy to find and adjust. And you can adjust sound effects and music volume independently now.
Oh my gosh, yes. I've been waiting for that for so long. I love those epic soundtracks, but sometimes those sound effects can get a little overwhelming.
Right, now you can blast that music without going deaf from all the explosions and spell effects.
Exactly. So speaking of loot filters, they've also made some cool updates there. You can now equip any piece of gear, regardless of who owns it, by using the equippy keyword.
That's going to make testing out new builds so much easier. No more having to trade items back and forth just to see how they work together.
Exactly. And for those who really like to sign-tune their loot drops, the maximum number of filter levels has been increased to 12.
12. That's insane. The level of customization is incredible. You can create filters for literally every situation. And to make things even more user-friendly, they've integrated the Filterbird web app into the launcher.
Oh, nice. So now you can preview your filters and make sure everything looks good before you import them into the game.
Exactly. It's so much more convenient than having to constantly switch back and forth between the game and a separate website. They've also been hard at work squashing those pesky bugs.
Oh, always.
Remember that one where fortified map bosses were dropping double loot?
Yeah.
Gone.
That's good. That was a little much.
Yeah, it was a little broken. And they addressed that issue with ambient sounds causing lag, especially in group play. So performance should be much smoother now.
Performance optimization, always a good thing. Now, speaking of maps, get ready to explore some brand new areas.
Oh, yeah. We have 2 new maps coming to Season 10. Skovos Stronghold, a Tier 2 map designed by Alma, and Demon Road, another Tier 2 beauty crafted by Bork.
I cannot wait to see those. I love exploring new maps, seeing all the different layouts and monster combinations.
Me too. It's always exciting to see what kind of loot and challenges await us in those uncharted territories. But be warned, map bosses are getting a bit of a power boost with the addition of Melee Splash.
Uh-oh.
So be prepared for some serious pain if you get caught in the wrong spot.
So maybe don't get too close.
Maybe.
On the flip side, they've made some adjustments to the Warlord of Blood.
Oh, good old Warlord.
So they reduced his attack damage and increased his corrupted unique drops to 2/3.
That's a nice balance, making him a bit more manageable, but still rewarding to farm.
For sure. And for those braving the Pandemonium Citadel, they've made it slightly easier by reducing the boss's health. But here's a cool twist. The Horizon event now sunders the map, preventing monster resistances from going above 75%.
Ooh, that's interesting. So our elemental attacks will be much more effective.
Exactly.
I like that.
Me too. And get ready for some serious loot, because dungeon monsters and the final bosses now drop double loot.
Dungeon runs just got a whole lot more rewarding.
They also reduce the resistances of immune monsters in dungeons, so they're not quite as frustrating to deal with. And dungeon bosses are now twice as likely to drop Redrum Scarabs.
Score.
And if you're on the hunt for runes, the rune drop rate in dungeons has been increased by 20%.
So many reasons to go dungeon crawling.
So many reasons. Okay, let's talk mercs.
Merc time.
Act 1 mercs, they got a little bit of a nerf.
Yeah, slight damage reduction.
But Act 4 mercs are looking pretty good right now with increased damage scaling and life replenishes added per level.
Act 4 mercs are going to be the new hotness.
Yeah, I think so. But the biggest merc makeover goes to Act 3 mercs.
Oh, yeah.
No more dagger support.
Bye-bye daggers.
And their ability scaling has been completely reworked. Fire and lightning mercs are stronger at endgame now, but cold mercs are a little bit weaker.
It's a merc shakeup. It's going to be interesting to see how these changes affect mercenary strategies.
Yeah, for sure. And, oh, they also added a new legendary hero you can hire in Act 3, Zinthros.
Ooh, Zinthros.
I wonder what kind of special abilities he brings to the table.
I'm excited to find out.
Let's talk Ubers.
Uber time.
The Uber Ancients are a little weaker now.
Yeah, they reduced their damage and made some adjustments to their attacks.
But don't get too comfortable, because
there's a brand new Uber boss entering the arena.
with a unique reward, too.
A new Uber boss, a new challenge, a new reward.
This is going to be epic.
This is huge. I can't wait to see what kind of crazy abilities this new Uber boss has.
Me too. And they made the Uber experience a little more accessible, too. You no longer need to be level 80 to enter the fights. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, you won't gain experience below level 80 from them, but at least you can still participate. They also made some tweaks to the Diablo clone and Rathma fights, making them a little smoother and more balanced.
Nice. Okay, let's step into the arena for some PvP action.
Let's get ready to rumble.
So they added dedicated PvP charms that you can buy with gold from the arena vendors. These charms offer a balanced set of bonuses that only work within the arena, creating a more fair and competitive environment.
Yeah, no more using those overpowered PvE charms to dominate in the arena. These new charms will level the playing field.
Yeah. And if you're ever unsure about what PvP modifiers are in effect, they added a handy tome in the arenas that displays all the active modifiers.
No more guesswork.
Exactly. Plus, PvP maps now auto-stack, making things much easier to manage.
Small change, but definitely a welcome one.
For sure. Now let's get to the heart of it. The classes.
The meat and potatoes. Brace yourselves, folks. We're about to dive into a mountain of changes. Skill adjustments, synergy tweaks, mechanic overhauls. This is where the real fun begins.
Absolutely. So let's start with the Amazon.
Our favorite bow-wielding warrior, Cold Arrow and Fire Arrow, have had their synergies reduced and their maximum arrow counts capped.
So they were still powerful, but not quite as spammy.
Exactly. They wanted to prevent them from becoming too dominant.
Makes sense.
Immolation Arrow got a major rework, though.
Ooh. Tell me more.
They rebalanced the synergies to affect both the fire explosion and the damage over time, so it's a much more versatile skill now, and potentially very powerful.
I'm excited to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see a resurgence of Immolation Arrow builds.
Maybe. I'm curious to see what kind of crazy combos people come up with. Multiple Shot got some love too. The 3 middle arrows now proc effects, and the enhanced damage bonus has been increased.
So more damage, more procs, more fun.
Exactly. And Charge Strike is even more powerful now, with an additional charge bolt gained every 3 levels and a higher cap on the maximum number of bolts.
Oh, wow. So those Amazons are going to be taking down large packed of demons in no time. What about Decoy? Any changes there?
Yes. They fixed a bug that was preventing stats from applying properly, so those decoys will be much more effective at distracting enemies.
Thank goodness. Those decoys are lifesavers sometimes. What about Lightning Strike and Strafe? Any changes to those?
Yep, they slightly reduced Lightning Strike's synergies, but they increased Strafe's Penetrate synergy.
Interesting. So Strafe's piercing through more enemies now.
Exactly. It's going to be even more deadly against those large packs of demons.
Okay, now let's talk about the Assassin.
The Master of Shadows. They made a lot of changes to her elemental skills, particularly Phoenix Strike. The synergies for Fists of Fire, Claws of Thunder, and Blades of Ice have been reduced.
So they're encouraging players to use all 3 elements instead of just focusing on one.
Exactly. They want to make sure all 3 elements are viable options. They also reduced Chain Lightning Sentry synergy slightly and toned down Wake of Fire scaling.
But they did boost Fire Blast synergy, right?
They did, making it a more potent offensive option. And Shockwave got a nice synergy increase, making it even more effective at slowing down enemies.
I like it. What about Fade? Any changes there?
Yes. They reworked the resist bonus scaling, so it provides a higher resist bonus at lower levels, but scales more slowly at higher levels.
So it's more beneficial early on, but less so in the late game.
Exactly. And they increased the curse duration reduction cap, making Fade a valuable asset against those curse-heavy enemies. But they did reduce the physical damage reduction, so it's not quite as effective at mitigating physical attacks.
Okay, that's fair. What about Psychic Hammer? Any changes there?
Yes. They give it a nice synergy boost, which could make it a more appealing option for those Hammerden-style builds.
I can see that.
And get this, Mind Blast now gains an increased area of effect with consecutive casts.
Oh, wow. So the more you use it, the bigger the blast radius.
Exactly. It's going to be a potent crowd control tool. And they doubled the life and mana steal for the second charge of Cobra Strike, making it a more effective sustain option.
Nice. Those are some really cool changes for the Assassin. But what about Fists of Fire? I heard they got a complete rework.
Oh, yeah. Big changes. First of all, they fixed several damage bugs, so it's actually dealing its intended damage now.
Outcode time.
They also increased the scaling for the first charge, making it a more potent opener. But the biggest change is that they replaced the synergy with Phoenix Strike with Dragonflight.
Whoa. That's a game changer. So now you have to choose between focusing on Phoenix Strike or Fists of Fire.
Exactly. It's going to be interesting to see what kind of builds emerge from this. And they gave Dragon Talon some love, too. increase the base enhanced damage bonus and the synergies with Dragon Tail and Dragonflight.
So those kicks are going to be packing a punch.
They are, and Dragonclaw's synergies have been increased, making it a more potent finisher. But the star of the show is definitely Claws of Thunder.
I've been hearing a lot of buzz about those changes. What exactly did they do?
Okay, so the third charge is completely different now. It sends down bolts of lightning at any enemies struck by the charged bolts, and those bolts always pierce. And just like with Fists of Fire, they replace the Phoenix Strike synergy with Dragonclaw.
Wow, that sounds amazing. So those lightning attacks are going to be incredibly powerful.
They are. Oh, and they fixed a bug that was preventing stats from applying properly to Shadow Warrior and Shadow Master.
So our shadowy companions are finally getting the love they deserve.
About time.
I can't wait to see all these assassin changes in action.
Me too. Now prepare for the Barbarian.
Oh yeah, the Barbarian.
Yeah.
I'm always excited to hear about changes to the Barbarian. What do they do?
Well, they increase the duration of Battle Cry, so it's an even more potent demoralizing shout.
Nice. So enemies are going to be cowering in fear even longer.
Exactly. And they increased Warcry's synergies with Howl and Battle Cry, further enhancing its ability to weaken and frighten those poor demons.
Oh, perfect. But what about Berserk? Any changes to that?
They made it a bit less punishing to use. They halved the physical damage reduction penalty, and they significantly reduced the defense penalty.
So it's still high risk, high reward, but it's not quite as suicidal anymore.
Exactly. They also increased the enhanced damage per level, making Berserk even more devastating against single targets.
Love it. What about Concentrate? Any love for Concentrate?
Yep. They increased the attack rating bonus and the synergy boost from Bash and Battle Command.
So it's even more focused now, both literally and figuratively.
Exactly. And Double Swing got a nice buff as well. They increased the base enhanced damage bonus, the enhanced damage bonus per level, and the attack rating bonus per level.
So those opening attacks are going to hit hard.
They are. And Frenzy also received a synergy boost from Double Swing and Stun, as well as an increased attack rating bonus and base attack rating bonus.
I love it. So many buffs for the Barbarian.
But the biggest news is that they finally fixed Whirlwind.
Oh my god, yes!
They addressed that bug that was capping its range, and now it prioritizes targeting the closest enemy.
So no more getting stuck on corners or spinning around aimlessly?
Nope. It's going to be so much smoother and more controlled.
I can't wait to try it out. I've missed using Whirlwind effectively.
It's back, baby, and better than ever. Now let's venture into the wilds with the Druid.
Ooh, the Druid. I'm always curious about changes to the shapeshifters. What do they do?
Well, they reworked Hunger to focus on open wounds, and it now has Maul as a synergy, making it a more appealing option for werebear builds.
Interesting. And what about Maul itself? Any changes there?
Yeah, they gave it a nice damage boost.
So those werebear claws are going to be tearing through demons.
They are, but they slightly reduced Werewolf's base enhanced damage bonus and enhanced damage bonus per level.
So they're encouraging players to utilize those synergies for maximum effect.
Exactly. They want to make sure all the were forms are viable options. Fury also saw a slight reduction to its enhanced damage per level and synergy with Feral Rage. But here's a big one. Shockwave got a complete rework.
Shockwave. Tell me more.
They removed the synergy with Tornado, but increased the synergy with Werebear and Twister. And they significantly boosted its base damage and scaling.
Wow, so Shockwave is now a serious force to be reckoned with.
It is. It could become a key skill in Werebear builds, offering incredible crowd control and damage potential.
I can't wait to see those shockwaves rippling through hordes of demons. What about the summons? Any changes to the wolves or the grizzlies?
Yep. They removed the synergies with Summon Grizzly and Werewolf from Summon Spirit Wolf, and they reduced its scaling a bit. But they did increase the wolves' base run speed, so they're more mobile and effective at flanking enemies.
Okay, so it's less about damage and more about tactical positioning. I like that.
Me too. And Summon Direwolf saw similar adjustments. The synergies with Summon Grizzly and Werewolf are gone, but the synergy with Raven and Summon Spirit Wolf has been increased.
So it's all about utilizing those wolves as a pack now.
Exactly. Coordinating their attacks for maximum impact. And Summon Grizzly got a major buff.
The grizzlies. I love the grizzly. What did they do?
They significantly increased the health bonus per level and boosted their maximum resistances to 85%.
Wow. Those grizzlies are going to be tanks.
They are. They'll be soaking up damage like sponges. Fireclaw also got a nice scaling increase across all levels, making it a more reliable source of fire damage. Oh, and remember how Oak Sage, Spirit of Barbs, and Heart of Wolverine were getting hit by area of effect damage and projectile?
Yeah, Not anymore.
Yes, they're back to their original tanking glory. That's going to make a huge difference for summoner builds.
Absolutely. But Poison Creeper, Solar Creeper, and Carrion Vine are still vulnerable to those attacks.
Makes sense. They're more offensive summons, so it makes sense that they wouldn't be as durable.
Right. And they gave both Twister and Tornado some scaling boosts,
Yeah.
making them even more potent forces of nature.
Awesome. Okay, now let's summon the Master of the Undead.
The Necromancer.
He's always a fan favorite. What kind of dark magic did they bestow upon him?
Well, they gave Bone Spear a much-needed buff. They increased the hitbox size, making it easier to land those piercing projectiles.
Yes. No more narrowly missing those pesky demons. Exactly. And Bone Armor also got a nice boost. It now provides a plus 10% defense bonus per hardpoint while active.
Nice. Talk about a skeletal shield. What about the golems? Any changes there?
Yes. Blood Golem got a fascinating rework. They reduced the synergies, but now all 5 Blood Golems can stack their bleed on a single target.
Imagine the damage over time potential.
I know, right? They also added lesser melee splash to the Blood Golem, so it's more effective against groups of enemies now. Clay Golem remains unchanged, but Fire Golem got a major overhaul.
The Fire Golem. What did they do?
They fixed that bug that was preventing its Holy Fire aura from gaining synergy damage, and they rebalanced its damage values.
Nice. So the Fire Golem is back in business.
It is, and for those who love Poison Nova, they slightly reduced its synergies, but it's still a powerful area of effect poison skill.
I can practically smell the toxic fumes already.
And they fixed a bug that was capping amplified damage's radius incorrectly, so now it's a truly effective curse against large groups of enemies.
That's awesome. Okay, let's call upon the Holy Warrior.
The Paladin.
Always a classic. What kind of divine intervention did they receive?
Well, they gave Smite a major power boost.
Tell me everything.
They increased the base enhanced damage, the enhanced damage per level, and added crushing blow efficiency per level.
Whoa. So Smite is now a serious demon-slaying tool.
It is. They also fixed and improved Charge. It now properly uses attack speed during the swing animation.
So it's much smoother and more responsive now.
Exactly. And Zeal got a nice buff as well. Increased enhanced damage per level, attack rating per level, and base enhanced damage bonus.
So those multi-hit attacks are going to be even more devastating. But I heard Vengeance got a complete rework.
Oh yeah, Vengeance got a major makeover.
Yeah.
The synergies now apply to both flat elemental damage from items and the skills flat damage, making it incredibly versatile. And they increase the base chain chance, maximum chain distance, and explosion area of effect.
Wow. So Vengeance is now a powerful area of effect damage skill.
It is. It's going to be amazing for crowd control. And Holy Sword got an interesting adjustment. It can now be pre-buffed and remains active even without a two-handed sword equipped.
So you can pre-buff it and switch to a shield for defense, then switch back to a two-handed sword when you're ready to unleash its full power.
Exactly. It adds a whole new layer of strategy to the skill. They also gave Holy Bolt a slight synergy boost, and they significantly boosted Sanctuary.
Sanctuary, what do they do?
Increased the synergies with Might, Blessed Aim, and Holy Sword, and they increased the radius.
Nice. That's going to be one heavenly sanctuary.
It is. But get ready for a thorny surprise because Thorns got a complete rework.
Thorns. What did they do to Thorns?
It's no longer just a defensive aura. It now has a chance to apply open wounds, and it grants open wounds damage.
Whoa. So you're not just reflecting damage, you're actively punishing those attackers with open wounds.
Exactly. It's a game changer for Thorns. They also reduced the level 1 radius of conviction, so it's slightly less effective at lower levels. But Cleansing Aura now provides curse resistance, making it a more valuable defensive option.
Curse resistance is always welcome.
It is. And they reverted the changes that were increasing the radius scaling of utility and party auras with base levels, so those auras are back to their intended functionality.
Good to know. Okay, now let's unleash some arcane energy.
The Sorceress.
Always a powerhouse. What kind of changes did they make?
Well, they gave Blizzard a slight cooldown reduction, so it's even smoother to use.
Nice. More blizzards, more fun.
Exactly. Teleport got some interesting adjustments. The damage penalty is reduced at lower levels, but the minimum damage penalty has been increased.
So it's less punishing for quick escapes early on, but potentially riskier in the late game.
Yep, exactly. And hold on to your hats because Energy Shield got a major buff.
Energy Shield. What do they do?
It's no longer removed when you reach 0 mana.
What? So no more getting one-shotted by mana burn.
Nope. This is a game changer for Energy Shield builds.
I can't wait to try that out. What about Blaze? Any changes to Blaze?
They reverted the change that was giving it phasing, Probably the best.
Yeah, that was probably causing some balance issues.
Yeah, I think so. They reduced Frost Nova synergies and toned down the scaling a bit, and they increased Nova scaling at lower levels, but reduced it at higher levels.
So they're balancing its power curve throughout the game.
Exactly. They did the same thing with Inferno, actually. Increased the scaling at lower levels, so those early game fire spells are going to be packing some heat.
I love it. Now let's talk about something that's going to have a huge impact on everyone. Corruption changes.
This is big. They completely revamped the socket chances for armor and
So it's
weapons.
going to be much easier to get higher socket counts.
Way easier. For example, one-handed weapons now have a minimum socket roll of 2, while two-handed weapons have a minimum of 3.
That's amazing. This is going to revolutionize itemization.
It is, and they made a ton of adjustments to corruption affixes, offering a wider range of defensive and offensive options, increased attack rating bonuses, reduced enemy elemental resistances, curse resistance, life replenishment, mana regeneration, and so much more.
It's like they went through every single affix and carefully tweaked it.
They did. They wanted to create more build diversity and strategic options.
And I think they succeeded.
I agree. They also made some interesting adjustments to the proc radius of several curses and auras, like Amplify Damage, Weaken, Iron Maiden, Life Tap, Decrepify, and Lower Resist.
So those curses and auras are going to be much more effective.
They are. Oh, and for all you elemental enthusiasts out there, they added a new set of affixes that reduce enemy fire, cold, and lightning resistances.
Yes. Where can those spawn?
On bows, crossbows, scepters, crystal-based swords, orbs, claws, and staves.
This is going to be huge for elemental builds. You're perfect.
It is. It's going to be a meltdown of elemental fury. And they increased the maximum socket count for several weapon types, including Rune Sword, Cryptic Sword, Hyperion Spear, War Spear, Bardiche, Lockhaber Axe, and Ogre Axe.
More sockets, more power. Love it. But let's talk about some specific changes to existing rune words. I know there were a few interesting tweaks there.
Oh yeah, they made some good ones. Infinity, for example, got an upgrade. For the Spear and Polearm versions, the chance to cast Lightning on kill has been replaced with a chance to cast Chain Lightning on striking.
Chain lightning.
And for Staves, the chance to cast Lightning on casting has been changed to Chain Lightning on casting.
So Infinity is even more powerful against groups of enemies now.
Absolutely. And Innocence is finally attacking at the proper frame rate.
What does that mean?
Well, before, it was attacking faster than intended because of a bug. So they fixed that.
Okay.
Prudence and Rampage got some nice buffs, too.
I love those rune words. What do they do?
Prudence now has a faster cast rate, and Rampage received an enhanced damage increase.
Sweet. Makes them even more desirable. What about Death and Peace? Any changes there?
Yeah, they slightly reduced Death's enhanced damage, and they reduced Peace's Amazon skill bonus to +1.
Just keeping things balanced.
Exactly. But Zenith got some interesting changes.
Zenith, what did they do?
It can now be made in two-handed swords.
Whoa!
And they increased the Salvation Aura level and the enhanced damage.
So more holy power for those paladin zealots.
Exactly. Oh, and they reduced Leaf's Inferno bonus for sorceresses to +1 too. But now, for the moment, we've all been waiting for new rune words.
Just drum roll, please.
They added Rapture, a 6-socket hammer rune word using Vex, Jaw, Lo, Ral, Ko, and Mao.
Whoa, those are some high-level runes.
It is. It offers a chance to cast Fissure and lower resist on striking, enhance damage, ignore target's defense, mana, and lifesteal, deadly strike, prevent monster heal, and bonuses to resistances and gold find.
Wow, that's a mouthful. That sounds incredibly powerful.
It is. It's going to be a favorite for Hammered-In builds for sure. They also added Purity, a 3-socket polearm spear staff bow crossbow rune word using Am, Eth, and Thul.
That one sounds a bit more accessible. What does it do?
It grants a prayer aura, increased attack speed, enhanced damage, damage to demons, attack rating against demons, reduced curse duration, and lifesteal.
That's a solid combination of offensive and defensive benefits.
Especially against demons.
Exactly. Now let's move on to set items. I know there were some adjustments there as well.
Oh, yeah, they made some good ones. Tal Rasha's Guardianship got a nice buff to magic damage reduction, and they significantly increased the better chance of getting magic items bonus.
Perfect for those magic fine runs.
Exactly. Trang All Scales had its Blood Warp bonus increased, and Natalia's Shadow received a boost to the life per character level bonus.
Nice. Some good quality of life improvements there.
Absolutely. Berserker's Hauberk had its enhanced damage per level bonus slightly reduced, and Berserker's Hatchet had its Barbarian skill bonus replaced with a maximum damage per level bonus.
So a little bit of balancing there.
Exactly. And Infernal Spire is back with a vengeance. They restored its enhanced damage to undead bonus.
Nice. Those undead are going to feel the burn.
They are. Death's Touch also received a significant enhanced damage increase, while Death's Hand had its poison length reduction reduced. But Sibirb's Ward got a unique change. The mana bonus has been replaced with a physical damage reduction bonus.
So it's more defensively focused now.
Exactly.
Interesting. What about Cathin's Seal? Any changes there?
Yep, they shifted the maximum damage bonus from requiring 4 items to 3, so it's easier to obtain that bonus now.
Nice. And Angelic Sickle received a maximum damage bonus as well.
They also shifted the Frost Nova proc chance for Milibrega's Rod and Milibrega's Robe from requiring 3 items to 2.
I like that they're making it easier to utilize those set bonuses.
Me too. Tancred's Spine got an enhanced damage boost, and Tancred's Weird received a lightning damage bonus.
Talk about shocking style.
Right, and both Wilhelm's Pride and Magnus's Skin received increased damage to demons and undead bonuses, respectively.
Those are going to be some demon slaying machines.
They are, but the Dark Adherent set got a cool new bonus, a chance to cast Bone Armor when struck.
Nice. That's a nice defensive addition for necromancers.
It is. Naja's Puzzler got a significant lightning damage boost, while Griswold's Legacy had its faster hit recovery bonus removed from the complete set bonus and added as a natural stat on Griswold's Honor.
Interesting. What about Mavina's True Sight and Mavina's Icy Clutch? Any changes there?
Yep, they reduced their fire and cold skill damage bonuses.
Just keeping those elemental builds in check.
Exactly. And the Dark Adherent set received a fire resistance boost, making it more durable against fire attacks. But Immortal King's Stone Crusher got some amazing buffs.
Immortal King. That's a fan favorite.
It is. It received enhanced damage, damage to demons, and damage to undead boosts.
So it's a true monster slaying weapon now.
It is. And it once again has the indestructible property, although it's currently bugged when ethereal. They're working on fixing that, though.
Good to know. Okay, now buckle up because we're about to enter the realm of unique items.
And they did not hold back on the changes.
It's like a loot explosion. First up, we have 8 brand new unique items. Titan's Grip, Wraith Skin, Twilight's Reflection, Den Mother, Ebon Bane, Shatterblade.
They completely reworked Dragon Scale.
I know. It's amazing.
And Guardian Angel.
And they didn't stop there. Oldishian's Awakening, Tempest, Hawkmail, Sparking Mail, Venom Ward, Heavenly Garb, Spirit Forge, Toothrow, Crowcaw.
Oh.
And they made so many changes to existing unique items.
It's overwhelming.
So,
But in a good way. I mean, just look at all the changes. Duril's Shell, Keegan's Wisdom, Corpsemorn, Ormus's Robes.
they really went through and tried to give everything a little love tap here and there, you know.
Yeah, even Steel Carapace got its enhanced defense buffed a little bit. And Dark Abyss, they reduced the all skills bonus and lowered the requirements, but they boosted the life and mana after each kill.
I feel like that was a good change.
It was. Like, they're really trying to make some of these less used uniques a little bit more viable.
Right. Wall of the Eyeless, for example, it got that mana after each kill boost, which is going to be great for mana-hungry builds.
Yeah, no more chugging potions every 2 seconds. And Radamant Spear, oh man, they increased the Poison Nova proc chance and the chance of blocking.
Oh, necromancers are going to love that. And caster builds, rejoice. Medusa's Gaze got a faster cast rate increase.
And they go fast.
Dark Force Spawn, some love for the necromancer summoners with those boosted curses and summons bonuses.
It's gonna be a summoner's paradise.
And Homunculus, mana after each kill boost, all resistance boost, just making it more durable and efficient.
And Bone Flame, boosted run walk speed.
Gotta go fast. Okay, now let's talk about Vampire Gaze.
Oh yeah, Vampire Gaze. This one's good. They boosted the life steal, mana steal, A&D physical damage reduction.
I mean, melee characters are going to be invincible.
Pretty much. Blackhorn's Face got increased lightning resist, so good for those fire-heavy encounters. And Magic Find enthusiasts, Crown of Thieves got a better chance of getting magic items boost.
It's raining loot. But what about Andariel's Visage?
Andariel's Visage got an attack speed boost, but they reduced the maximum poison resist.
So a bit of give and take there.
Exactly, balancing it out. Giant Skull got an enhanced damage boost, so good for those who like to crush their enemies.
Crushing.
Nightwing's Veil got a cold skill damage boost.
Winter is coming.
Crown of Ages, they increased the socket count.
I love it when they do that. More sockets, more possibilities.
Kira's Guardian had its all resistance slightly reduced, just a little adjustment there. But Werewolf and Summoner builds, get ready because Wolf Howl got some major boosts.
Really? What kind of boosts are we talking?
Boosted Feral Rage, Werewolf, strength, dexterity, and desummon dire wolf
This
bonuses.
is going to be huge for druid builds.
Huge. Raycor's Virtue also got some love. Mana stolen per hit and dexterity bonuses were boosted. Spirit Keeper had its lightning absorb and maximum poison resist reduced. Again, just a minor tweak.
Keeping things balanced.
Exactly. Ursa's Nightmare, they lowered that you cannot lifesteal when above 65% maximum life threshold to 60%.
So a little bit easier to maintain that life steal now.
Yep, a little more forgiving. Overlord's Helm, the enemy physical resistance reduction was reduced a bit, but they boosted the strength bonus.
So less armor shredding, but more raw power.
Exactly. Caster builds, Mage Fist got a regenerate mana boost.
The mana problems are gone.
Drakel's Grasp got a strength boost, so those gloves are even better now.
I love Drackles. What about Hotspur? Any changes there?
They reduced the max fire resist and fire resistance on Hotspur,
Interesting.
but Treads of Kython got a Pierce chance increase, and in Infernostride, they increased the Blaze proc chance.
Oh, that's nice. What about Gore Rider?
Gore Rider got a Deadly Strike boost. Shadow Dancer got increased dexterity, A&D, a requirements reduction. Razortail, dexterity boost, A&D, a defense boost.
It's like Christmas for unique items.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Gloom's Trap got a faster cast rate boost. Arachnid Mesh, they slightly reduced the faster cast rate, just a minor tweak there.
Keeping things in check.
Yep. Band of Skulls, physical damage reduction was slightly reduced. Nokozan Relic, max fire resist and fire resistance were reduced. Crescent Moon got a cold skills boost.
Let it snow.
The Cat's Eye got an attack speed boost. Wisp Projector, they reverted the better chance of getting magic items back to its original value.
Interesting. What about Hellslayer? Any changes there?
Yeah, they removed the life bonus and replaced it with an enemy fire resistance reduction.
Ooh, so it's more specialized now.
Exactly. Death Cleaver got a maximum deadly strike chance boost. Head Striker, they reduced the deadly strike per level, but increased the maximum deadly strike chance. Razor's Edge, deadly strike reduced. Chance of open wounds increased.
Ooh, sounds messy.
It is. Assassin's Jade Talon got boosts to its martial arts and shadow disciplines bonuses.
I love those Jade Talon.
Boneslayer Blade got a Zeal bonus boost, and they changed the Holy Bolt proc chance from on being struck to on striking.
That's a good change.
Makes it much more reliable.
For sure. Storm Rider had its Chain Lightning proc chance increased.
Double the lightning.
Mage's Lair got a pretty significant change. They removed the concentration aura and replaced it with physical damage reduction and a damage boost.
Interesting. So it's more specialized for taking down spellcasters now.
It is. Windforce, get ready for this dexterity boost. Twister proc chance increase. A&D, a maximum damage per level boost.
This is insane.
It's raining arrows.
Hellrack got a socket count increase, so more customization options there. Skull Collector had its bone armor proc chance reduced, but the level of the bone armor was increased. Stalker's Call had its enhanced damage slightly reduced. Brimstone Rain had its enemy physical resistance reduction slightly reduced.
Lots of minor tweaks there.
Yeah, just fine-tuning things. Paladins, Ziray's Resolve had its Holy Shock level increased and its enhanced damage boosted. Lycander's Flank got a physical damage reduction boost. Heaven's Light, socket count increased. Zakaram's Hand got a significant change, though. They removed the Holy Shock and Holy Freeze bonuses and replaced them with an Offensive Auras bonus. Demon Machine had its maximum damage removed, but its enhanced damage was increased. Athena's Wrath got an enhanced damage boost. Spirit Shroud had its magic damage reduction reverted to its original value. Patriarch had its enhanced damage slightly reduced. Earthshaker had its elemental skills bonus reduced. Executioner's Justice got an enhanced damage boost.
Justice is served.
Amazon Barbs, Valkyrie Wing got an enhanced damage boost. Rock Fleece had its physical damage reduction and physical damage reduced bonuses reduced.
Oh, many changes.
I know, right? Horizon's Tornado got a cool new addition, a Twister proc chance on casting. Stone Crusher got a double buff with an increased monster defense per hit reduction and a slight enhanced damage boost. And for the grand finale, Earthshifter got a complete rework.
Okay, let's hear it. What do they do?
They removed the Volcano proc on casting, added a Volcano proc on kill, removed the elemental skills bonus, added fire skills bonus, A&D reduced the faster cast rate.
Whoa. That's a major overhaul.
It is. It's like a completely different item now.
Wow, so many changes.
I know. It's mind-blowing. It really shows how much care and attention the developers are putting into this game.
They didn't just slap on some buffs and call it a day. They really thought about how each change would affect the overall balance of the game and how it would create new and exciting possibilities for players.
Absolutely. It's amazing to see a game that's been around for so long still evolving and captivating players.
And that's it for our deep dive into the final patch notes for Season 10, Desecration.
Phew. That was a lot.
It was a lot, but I'm so excited for this new season. I think it's going to be one of the best yet.
Me too. With all these changes, there's going to be so much to explore and experiment with, new builds to create, new challenges to overcome, and a whole new Uber boss to conquer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what are you waiting for? Get out there and start theory crafting.
Head over to our community forums and share your thoughts, your build ideas, your hopes and dreams for Season 10.
We'll be keeping a close eye on those forums and maybe even featuring some of your insights in a future deep dive. But most importantly, have fun. Experiment. Embrace the chaos.
Happy hunting, everyone. We'll see you in Sanctuary.